Loading in now. Quick pause. Give me a countdown. Okay. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. We are live with Operation Skyfall. This is our final match between Kris Jungle as our Africa Corps. And if I could get my video settings correct, I apologize. Here we go. Alright, and Kris Jungle's opponent is iMeqastrunZ as our British. Map today is going to be Twin Beaches. And yeah, very much looking forward to this game. So, Kris Jungle has improved significantly in the last couple months. I played him in the very first Ironclad tournament. And I played him again this tournament, and it was an absolute blowout. So I'm looking forward to see what he's got in store for us. I watched a couple of iMeqa's games before the cast. And, you know, I believe I've seen him play as... I have not seen him play as British yet. So looking forward to seeing what he's got in store for us here. Does not have any of the new battle groups picked up. Whereas Kris Jungle does have the new Elite Forces. I would be very surprised if we saw anything else. Kris Jungle going hard for this top side fuel. And iMeqa did open with an early Dingo here and double Royal Engineer. So expecting his opponent to go for light vehicles. Now, in the games that I've seen Kris playing this week and before, he tends to not open with a 250. He'll occasionally open with motorcycle, but has opened with neither this game. So this Dingo, you know, while it's going to be providing value, isn't going to be that kill threat on some of those early light vehicles that we might otherwise see. Our British player is winning this first engagement here over the fuel. Going to decapture that. And should have put him out to an early fuel lead here as we get into it. So let me flip over to this. Yeah, nothing. Basically no fuel to write home about, but let's see it soon. Kris Jungle dropping an early mine there. That might pick up the Dingo if our British player isn't careful. Now, he should have heard it. I mean, he would have seen... he would have had his camera here to do the repair. So I'd be surprised if he hadn't heard that. There's a fight happening on this bottom side as well. Royal Engineers making it to that heavy cover. Going to start out a favorable engagement here. Dingo coming down as well. But with the Panzer Grenadiers backing off a little bit, should start to favor this unit. Meanwhile, on this top side, those Panzer Pioneers did have to give up that space. And yeah. So things looking okay in the first few minutes here for our British player, iMeqa. Now, double Panzer Grenadier on this bottom side should win this fight pretty quickly here, and is going to drive back those units. There is an infantry section on the way, though. Going to hop in this house. It should be able to hold down this area for quite some time. But again, I mean, every moment that we're fighting on down here on this beach is a moment that our British player has control of the fuel and could be able to get out an early vehicle if he wants to. And interesting here from Kris, has opened with the quadruple Panzer Grenadier. Pretty uncommon, I would say, just because of the manpower bleed. But I think the community's in agreement that Panzer Grenadiers are very strong. Uh-oh. Panzer Grenadiers getting caught out. British player is going to chase. Just needs a couple lucky hits here. I don't think he's going to get it. One more. And not quite going to get him there. Oh, did at the very last second. So a nice pickup there for our British player. Yeah, and that's a little bit of an unfortunate loss. Especially with him investing so heavily into these units. Let's see, no upgrades yet. So no 6-man squads, and of course doesn't have the tech available for veteran squad leaders. And iMeqastrunZ has locked in the Canadian Shock battle group here. So I wonder if we're going to see Canadians. I mean, he did go for the quick attacking spirit, though. So that's the one command point upgrade. And it lets you get to Canadians really fast, if that's what you want to do. But it's going to go for this... For this Humber Armored Car instead. Flamethrower upgraded on these Panzer Pioneers, going to burn this infantry section out of here. And I say that, but the Royal Engineers on the scene as well, and both players just going to retreat away from each other. Alright, Kris Jungle finally moving up onto this top side. Ambulance on the way, and has locked in the Elite Forces battle group, no surprise there. And I suspect we're going to see some scoped rifles here for Kris. But no answer right now to this Humber Armored Car. Going to instantly retreat. Not a terrible decision. iMeq is going to chase him down a little bit here. And just going to win that fight. We do see the fire support elements on the way, so I think we're probably going to see a Panzerjäger call-in from Kris to have that mobility that he's going to need to fight against this Humber Armored Car. But Humber Armored Car just going to drive back all these units here. I think we're going to see iMeqa be in a commanding position here for the next few minutes. You know, and I realized that our British player didn't go for triple infantry section. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really thinking Canadians fits nicely into this build. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about as much manpower bleed with just the double infantry section. He still has capturing power with his Royal Engineers. Yeah, fight happening on this bottom side. These vehicles just following each other around. And a mine there, almost damaging those vehicles. I think that was a British mine. And a big fight happening here. Now, these infantry sections aren't actually controlling any territory, right? If they had this cutoff point, I would say this is a good fight for him. But with the scoped rifles, going to drive back these infantry sections out of that heavy cover. Ambulance being re-added on. And it was a pack called in, by the looks of it, for Kris, rather than a Panzerjäger. Canadians available here and are called in for iMeqa. 250 just hanging out. And I'm surprised to see these Panzer Grenadiers not hopping in the back of this 250 to support there. I mean, they're going to take some manpower bleed, potentially. But both players just going to back away from each other here. That gun in a good spot, but not set up. Setting up now. Might miss its first shot, though. And is going to connect. 250 on the chase. Doesn't look like he's going to get him. That heavy cover just barely saving the day. Humber Armored Car going to smoke as well. And that dingo was extremely lucky there. Did manage to get away. So, okay. Where do our players go from here? Using that, it's not called Interrogate. What is that ability called? That's from the medical supplements, I think. It's not an ability I see used very often. Grenade here. Going to connect with those Canadians, but not quite. And Canadians unlocking the Piat nice and early here, just as an anti-tank option. I'm a little surprised to see him do that, just because he hasn't seen any vehicles, but he's playing it safe. Doesn't want to be up against something like a Puma. Should say an 8-Rad and not have the answer that he needs. Infantry sections fighting at long range here. We do see another infantry section added on, or excuse me, another Canadian added on. I can't believe this unit just got picked up. The ambulance going down to the Piat, I believe. So a nice find there by iMeqa. That's going to set Kris back a little bit of fuel and some manpower. And nothing truly decisive for either of our players just yet. We're seeing that manpower. We're seeing our British player get out ahead in a number of areas, but it's nothing too dramatic just yet. And what I love about games at this ELO is that literally anything can happen. I mean, we could see some squad wipes. We could see some huge fights where both players lose a bunch of units. So even though our British player is building a lead for himself, Kris definitely has a path back into this game. Now those Panzer Grenadiers taking some significant damage as they exited the cover there. Infantry section actually hunting for this pack gun. Just going to drive that back. And that's going to leave room for this Humber armor car to move into the area. Going to smoke off the AT. Not before taking a shot. We'll have to back away there. And actually getting a little greedy here. Kris Jungle not attacking ground through the smoke there for a potential kill. But that's okay. And yeah, iMeqastrunZ just using this time to grab some territory on this bottom side. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for this fuel. You know, despite only controlling one of the victory points right now, fuel is his best friend. Infantry training on the way. Yeah, and this is a nice build from iMeqa. He does not need to tech up to tanks. He has plenty of infantry that he's building veterancy on. He has all the tools he needs against what his opponent is doing. So adding on infantry training and grenades with that incendiary munitions is going to make all of these units quite powerful. Now, Kris moving down with a big old group of units here. There's an MG34 added on as well. Should be able to get out of here, no problem. Grenade in the retreat path. I think it's a little... Oh, it's perfect. Oh, nice grenade there. And is gonna get him. Is gonna get that infantry section. That's big. Humber armor car moving in. And is fighting this pack gun. Is gonna wipe him before the shot comes out. Plenty of Panzer Grenadiers to move into the area, though. Trying to destroy the pack gun, but that's definitely not gonna happen. Pack gun recrewed. Getting it one shot. Shouldn't get a second. And these Canadians can just hold down this area. So something about Canadians is their Veterancy 1 ability gives them 25% reduction in damage. It's like standing in heavy cover when they throw a grenade. So even if you're in the wide open and your grenade isn't going to connect with somebody, if you want that unit to live as long as possible, throw a grenade. I mean, it makes it like they're standing in heavy cover. And those Canadians can just hold down the fort all day long. Royal Engineers moving in here to deal with these Panzer Grenadiers. Pack gun is retreating. Grenade on the door. Not going to wipe that unit. That could have easily been a wipe. Might still be a wipe here as this unit retreats. Canadians not exactly known for their damage. And is going to barely escape there. Company command post on the way for Mecha. But Kris kind of pinned in his base here. Oh, did that... I think that Piat went past its intended target and hit the 250. That's not something you see very often. It happens way more often with tank shells that miss their target. Oh, I love these pack guns just standing on this point, keeping him connected to his fuel. Very clever. Canadians moving down on this bottom side. Yeah, and Mecha's got his opponent right where he wants him. I mean, Kris is laser focused on this area of the map. So not going to be able to... Like, Kris is just... His whole army is focused down here, and Mecha doesn't even need to defend the top side. He can just pull his opponent down here. And he's doing a really good job picking up both AT guns, and that is going to be a surrender from Kris. So, wow, nice game one. Mecha showing us how it's done. Let's take a quick look at the efficiency here. Yeah, I mean, double the manpower almost lost for Kris. Some really favorable fights from Mecha, and just excellent fuel control as well. I mean, almost 100 difference. So we were about to see some Matildas, and it would have been really, really tough for Kris. So, all right, guys, we'll be back with Game 2 in just a few minutes. right. Hello and welcome to Game 2 of the Ironclad Operation Skyfall tournament. My name is Fancy Josh, and today we've got iMeqastrunZ as our Africa core, and his opponent today is going to be Kris Jungle. And we are on Villa Fiore. So iMeqa picked first map. He picked Twin Beaches. Kris picked Dak. And now we are on Kris's pick for his turn as the Allies faction, and he has picked Villa Fiore, which is what he picked against me in the semifinals. So, looks like it's going to be a double Royal Engineer into Dingo opening here for Kris Jungle, and is going to be up against a motorbike from iMeqa. So we could see that Dingo getting some early value if it's able to find that motorcycle in a bad spot. And yeah, very much looking forward to this game. So, Kris, Alright, I'm going to quickly do a prediction on his build. Folks at the 1200 rating, including myself, tend to do the same exact build every game, and that's okay. So I think we're going to see Kris open with a triple infantry section into Humber, into double AT gun, and then Crusader spam to finish us out. You know, and now that I say that, I don't actually know what Mecha's going to do. I thought he had the new battle group, the elite battle group, but he does not as Dak. So, see what he wants to do instead. Dingo kind of in a weird spot here against these Panzer Pioneers, trying to drive them out of the heavy cover from the looks of it, but not quite going to get it done. Those Royal Engineers just holding it down on that fuel. And here comes the motorcycle to help out, but doesn't really have the armor penetration necessary to get through the front armor of the Dingo. And this is looking like a good fight again for Mecha. Dingo, not being seen here, could go down to the Royal Engineers, or excuse me, the Panzer Pioneers on the rear armor, but is going to see it here. Motorcycle hunting. I think this is dead Dingo. Getting on that rear armor is huge. Not quite going to finish him off there. It is! Oh, no. So dropping that early Dingo is most unfortunate. And let's see here. I wish I could remember the hotkey to switch sides. I think it's this. Oh, we did it. Okay, guys, sorry. It's driving me insane. Red was on the left and blue was on the right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you won't even have seen me switch it. Alright, so Mecha, blue on the right. Very good. Alright, so definitely an early lead for iMeqa, and actually going for an MG34. Very interesting. Now, this could be a read. I mean, we saw Kris kind of bunching up his units as that game went on. And I think if he could get a big pin, Kris could be in deep trouble to something like that. Infantry section moving up here. Now, despite the map looking rather blue, it's actually even on fuel. And Dak out to an early munitions is good. So I was about to say it's not as good for Dak, but it is good, so I take it back. All right, Royal Engineers not fighting at optimal distance here. Do need to close that gap, but it is they are fragile units there, and getting focused down here, backing away, falling back by numbers. MG34 in a great position, going to absolutely dominate that fight for him. And Kris trying to get around the edge with those infantry section, but not going to happen. Platoon command post on the way. Humber armor car shouldn't be that far behind if Kris can avoid dropping... if he can avoid dropping more manpower here. Ambulance on the way for iMeqa. And man, I can see... I could see chat here, and I think we've got it's not auto-translating, so I can't... Unfortunately, I don't understand whatever language that is. But if you'd like me to talk back, you could drop chat in English, and I will respond to you. All right. Heavy machine gun. You know, I think iMeqa, is it Italian? Oh god. Chat's gonna butcher me if I'm wrong. I am fairly certain he's Italian. Actually, I could check. MG34. Oh, shredding the Royal Engineers. They do have to get out of there. Is gonna make it. Actually, the heavy machine gun also retreated. Infantry section in the house. Gonna win that fight. And while we have a very quick break, I am gonna check nationalities. I know Kris is from Poland. Yep. Infantry section grabbing some territory. Where is this? Here we go. It's not going to show me. Alright, never mind. Alright, very blue map here. Motorcycle grabbing this fuel. Kris did make it to Humber armored car. I hear mines going down. Where's that? Ooh, S minefield from iMeqa, so has locked in that Panzerjäger command. And that could be a pretty nasty minefield. Won't stop the capture on the munitions, but could absolutely destroy infantry going for this victory point here. I'm actually surprised to see iMeqa not picking that up just yet. Prioritizing something else here. We do see Panzerjäger called in. Oh, yes, I thought so. I thought he was Italian. I'm glad to see you guys all here in chat. Welcome. Yeah, I saw you guys asking to stream, so glad you're here. Kind of fun to see all the support for your friend. Hopefully I have not been mispronouncing his name too badly, but that's okay. Kris actually adding on these boys' rifles here. That's going to help against the 250, but really hurts their anti-infantry. But, you know, I say that iMeqa's walking that line of infantry and vehicles. Has he... He does have the support elements. We're going to see a flak furling here. Kind of feels like it. I have been... Myself, I've been absolutely loving the 8-rad. And it is going to be a flak furling. Now these boys' rifles gonna lose this fight hard. Doing almost nothing to that infantry. Humber trying to fight here at maximum range. Trying to pick up this 250. Panzerjäger's gonna hop out and charge. Oh, nice mine there. I didn't even see that. That could have been a really bad mine for that 250. Well played by Kris, trying to bait his opponent into that. We do see Kris trying to get his high fuel point outside his base back. And I think he's going to lose this fight. Panzerjägers, or excuse me, Panzer Grenadiers in heavy cover. Going to make short work of that unit even at long range. Do see some more units moving to this bottom side. Kris going to be driven back there. Has grenades up next. Those, I guess he hasn't... I was about to say, I'm surprised we're not seeing a T-gun, but he hasn't actually seen the flak furling yet. And folks at this ELO range tend to be more reactive than proactive. So no surprise there. Humber going to get the motorcycle. Nice grenade there on those Panzer Grenadiers. Already paying dividends from that research, so I take it all back. And Australians next for Kris. There's a minefield right here. Yep. And flak furling moving into position. Panzerjäger's flanking. Could be a really good fight here for iMeqa. Looks like he wants to dive here. I think he's not going to get it there. That unit just exploded. Is going to trade it out. Panzerjäger's ought to go down. So, big trade for both players. So, those of you that that watch my channel, infantry section running through that minefield still. Is going to need minesweepers. Isn't researching them yet. And that's going to be painful. Just going to go around. And more mines. Oh, man. iMeqa getting huge value out of these minefields. So what I was going to say is I love messy games. And this game is getting messy quick. I mean, we saw that Panzerjäger call-in go down. Humber went down. So could get even messier from here. So these Australians, you know, they lack that utility. They lack the flexibility of your infantry section, right? They don't have the... You know, basically they're anti-infantry. And when they get that high veterancy, they absolutely shred. But adding them on late like this, it can be tough for them to gain veterancy into already veteran opponents, and especially with an MG on the field to sort of support, it's going to be really tough for these Australians to make something happen. And Panzer Command on the way here from Mecha, so we're going to see probably some Panzer IIIs. I mean, honestly, he could build anything out of that and be totally fine. Humber Armor Car almost completed here, but this cutoff going to deny Kris even more fuel here. Let's take a quick look at resources. So yeah, 300 fuel, 300 munitions difference, and 100 fuel is a big deal. So I don't, you know, I understand Kris adding this Humber back on. He needs a miracle, and a Humber is a unit that can make that happen with something like a dive. But he needs to break out of his base, right? He basically has to hold his fuel, and spending fuel on a unit that may not make that happen can be, it's an uphill battle. I mean, anything he does here is uphill. So once this Panzer III hits the field, I think it's going to be lights out. Flakverling moving into position here. Going to force that Humber back. Smoke popped. Royal Engineers trying to get in close, but can hide in the smoke. And a 6-pounder on the way here for Kris. Australians taking this point, but going to lose it almost immediately. Yeah, nice control by iMeqa. I mean, we saw the same thing last game, right? He was able to pigeonhole his opponent into his base, make the fight about 1 point that Kris absolutely had to have. And it's just letting him run the table here. Kris forced back to base. We do see more Panzerjägers added on. And we're about 1 minute away from a Panzer III, if he's going to do that. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with boys' rifles. They struggle even against the Flakverling, unfortunately. Like, they're good against 250s, and that's about it. At least in my experience. 250 going to survive that mine. You know, I do like Kris's use of mines this game. We all know mines win games. 6-pounder going to find a connection here. Flakverling not in a great spot. Might go down. Oh, that was big. That was a really important pickup for Kris. He's going to lose the pack gun, but should be able to get it back. Humber coming out of base now, fully repaired. And Panzer Pioneers moving into the area. Looks like he's going to try and contest this 6-pounder, but no way that happens. Panzer Grenadiers just going to back away. Australians hopping in the building. And Panzer Pioneers going to go down. Vet 2. Nice pickup there. Both players once again trading units. Well, actually, I say it was a trade of units, but really all it was a Flakverling and a Panzer Pioneer going down. So that was really, really important for Kris. The unfortunate thing, though, is that Panzer III is half done. And the victory points are looking really good for Mecha here. Yep. So, you know, I see folks in chat saying that this game is over, and I would tend to agree with you, except that this is at the 1200 ELO range, and anything can happen. I'm not saying anything will happen, I just know that it can. So, that's okay. I mean, this Panzer III is going to be nasty. There's basically no answer for it. Kris Jungle hasn't even recruited his 6-pounder. We see mines holding down the cutoff point here with support from this heavy machine gun. And gonna toss out this mark here, but the Panzer III is on the way. And this Humber doesn't know it, but it needs to get the heck out of dodge. Panzerjäger's also in the area. Gonna come through the hedgerow. Get some quick damage. Panzer III not able to find any damage on the Humber, but he can just go in the base. I can't believe Kris has not recruited his 6-pounder. Actually hard building a new one. And Panzer III looks like he just wants to pick up this med station. And should be able to get it. 6-pounder was recruited. Does have AT grenades. I mean, an AT grenade from behind here could be pretty devastating. 6-pounder not going to get a shot in. And Panzer III actually not able to finish the med tent there. So that could have been a lot worse for Kris. And while this was happening... Okay, I was about to say got his fuel back, but of course he didn't. Crew shock there. 6 and 6-pounder on the way here. Is going to get some shots. If he can hold this 6-pounder, he might be okay, but there's no way that iMeq is going to let that happen. Oh man, Kris Jungle is trying really hard. Did manage to decrew. Panzer Grenadiers trying to hold the line, but isn't going to be able to steal that 6-pounder. And Kris Jungle holding on by a thread, man. He's got 300 victory points to work with. He has tools for what his opponent has. If he can avoid losing this Humber, nice grenade there. Going to pick up the 6-pounder once again. 250 going down. This game is a mess. That Humber's dead. This game is a freaking mess. Alright, so Panzer III lived. The 2 Vet 2 Panzer Grenadiers still alive. Kris gonna walk away with a victory point here. I guarantee the fuel difference is massive. Yeah, 150 here. That's 2 Panzer IIIs almost. Which I think is probably what we're gonna see once we hit 80 fuel from iMeqa. Victory points could be way worse. I mean, throughout this game, Kris Jungle's actually held one of the VPs. iMeqa's been really focused on strangling him for fuel, rather than controlling the victory points. Which, of course, nothing's wrong with that, right? If you're controlling your opponent's fuel, you're putting yourself ahead. But the victory points are looking okay for Kris right now. And butterfly bombs coming down for iMeqa. Gonna make this victory point difficult to take. Still no minesweepers. Is gonna pick them up now. And those Royal Engineers moving in right when the Panzer III moved away. Trying to clear out these mines, but that's not gonna go well for him. And this unit has a terrible retreat path ahead of them, because if this Panzer III hits any of those mines, those Royal Engineers are gonna have a bad time. And they're just gonna have a bad time anyway. Vet 2 and a minesweeper probably gonna go down here. Nice pickup. 6-pounders moving over. No shot, though, despite being in range. Now, I was talking about how these Aussies don't do great until they get their veterancy, and they have it. I mean, their veterancy 2, how close are they to 3? They just hit 2. Infantry section on a bad retreat path. Might make it. Did clear the corner. Heavy machine gun going to set up. Oh, is going to drop him, though. And a Stuka up next for iMeqa. That's going to be a really good answer to those 6-pounders. Not that he even needs it. He's already cleaned one out. Second guy on the scene. But it's a dead 6-pounder for sure here. And Kris Jungle once again in a really bad spot. Yeah, I think I'd like to see iMeqa. I mean, he's firmly in control of this game. I mean, it looks like he wants to try and go for cutoff here. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see... What I'm really wanting to say is I'd love to see him pick up all 3 of the victory points here. We do see him have that self-repair. The emergency repair kits. Infantry training for Kris Jungle. Kris has managed to get 130 fuel together. And is going to call in an archer with it. So if this archer can pick up this Panzer III, there is a world where Kris comes back. You know, I keep talking about this copium. Oh man, this barrage could be devastating. Oh no! Oh my goodness. That's game, right? Is Kris gonna surrender off that? Holy moly, that was his whole army. Alright, Archer's here. Gonna try to fight this Panzer III. Gonna get one good shot in. Panzerjäger's moving up. Should be able to deal with the Archer. This Archer has paper-thin armor and low health. Can actually go down to these Panzerjägers. Nice little phosphorus rounds from those Panzerjägers. Archer not able to pick up the P3. Archer should escape as well. But, yeah. I mean, the infantry now moving into the area from iMeqa. Gonna control all these team weapons. It's either gonna steal or destroy them all. Archer gonna go down here. And that's going to be the surrender. Yep. Yep. What a huge barrage. Wiping 3 units. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, you know, 2,000 more manpower lost there for Kris. Munitions, 500. Oh, man. Fuel, 150. Yeah, really well played for Mecha. I mean, he just had superior map control, got his hands on those choke points, got some key wipes, and made it happen. So we'll be back with Game 3 here in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. Alrighty. Hello and welcome back to Game 3 of the Ironclad Operation Skyfall Challenger Bracket. This game we've got Kris Jungle playing as our US, and his opponent today is going to be iMeqa as our DAC. And iMeqa already opening with some Bersaglieri. So this is going to be a different match. I was actually expecting Kris Jungle to pick British once again. That is by far his favorite faction, but is going to be running US this game, so we'll see what he's got in store for us. And yeah, very much looking forward to this game. Map today is going to be Eagletone. So this is the new 1v1 map. I think this map is really fun. I know a lot of folks haven't liked it. They reduced this value of this fuel point here from 10 to 8. So really, there's no, you're going to have to fight over any of the fuel. You're going to get the same value. We'll tend to see folks start fighting a lot around this church on this left side as the game goes on. And I expect to see a lot of fights in these two houses as well. So those Bersaglieri going really deep here. Going for this house, are going to get it. So that's going to give them a decent fight against those riflemen. Kris Jungle using his scouts here to be annoying against this motorcycle. Actually going to let him finish the capture. Hopefully Kris sees that. Is going to see it at the last second. So neither player able to control this fuel point. And both players posting up in these houses opposite each other. And those scouts got to go here. They are going to lose this fight. Bersaglieri in the retreat path. That could be a dead scout. That'd be a really nice pickup for iMeqa. And it looks like he's going to get it. It's going to be close. Motorcycle even going to help out here. Versus on the chase here. And if that scout goes down, oh man, that's a really unfortunate loss for unfortunate loss for Kris. Excuse me. So Kris actually opening with double scouts. It's the same vibe as the double Royal Engineer, right? It's going to give you a lot of capturing power early at the expense of fighting power. But dropping one of those scouts, he's going to be glad he has the second one, except that it's not a rifleman, so that's not going to be feeling super great here. iMeqa has opened with double Bersaglieri to start, and adding on a Panzer Grenadier next. I really like this build. He's going to have the versatility and the most importantly, the snare from that second Panzer Grenadier. Or excuse me, from the Panzer Grenadier. US Rifleman trying to win this fight here. Now, Kris does have control of the fuel, technically, but not for long here. Third Rifleman on the field, moving up through the middle. Scouts trying to get this area as well. Panzer Pioneers, though, going to put a stop to that. And a quick retreat there. Not going to try and delay his opponent. Just going to let him have that fuel. And iMeqa, once again, out to a strong start here. Is adding on his next building here with the light support company. So I think we're probably going to see, well, I was going to say some assault grenadiers, but I don't actually know what he's going to want to do with that. With this much fuel control, he could easily go for mechanized. Versus on a nice flank here. Going to let force those riflemen away. And unfortunately for Kris, not able to get this fuel locked in just yet. Motorbike moving over. Bursa's going to move back. And yeah. What a very strong opening for iMeqa. Going for an ambulance. Okay. Yeah, with this much of a lead, he can basically do anything he wants with that fuel. Let's take a quick look here. Manpower lost. Not too bad. So iMeqa winning those fights, but not dropping a lot of models is Kris on his way out the door. So looks like he's going to move over to this left side. I wouldn't be surprised to see this third rifleman move over to this side as well. And just going to get healed up here from that ambulance. Oh, and I love this play, loading up the ambulance with his units to get them back out on the field faster. And that's going to be really big here. It's going to probably let him maintain control of this fuel on the left side. And it's going to be fire support elements, so probably a flak-verling here for iMeqa. Oh, and you know what? I say that, but we could be easily seeing some light tanks from the Italian Combined Arms. Here's hoping we see the Caro. I think Caro against US can be pretty strong, especially when you have an absolutely dominant fuel position. Rifleman trying to move in here, going to breach this building. Has teched into grenades, but I don't know if that's a building you want. Double Rifleman moving up here. He has added on a 4th Rifleman. And when you're this you know, when you're behind on fuel, spend that manpower, right? Whether it's infantry, whether it's mortars, you know, whatever it may be here. Grenade not going to connect. Flamethrower in the area, going to make short work. And once again, those riflemen. Oh, grenade! Huge grenade! Going to absolutely nuke that double rifleman, and Kris going to be forced back to base here in a big way. Motorcycle stealing this fuel. And iMeqa, once again, absolutely dominating the early game. So, okay, Kris going for Brownings here. For bar rifles, I should say. So anything he can do to get back into this game is going to be big. I think his idea, looks like he wants to move out onto this right side of the map here. I think that's a good decision. He just needs control of one fuel point. But Bersaglieri with their quick march ability, going to give him that 30% movement speed out of combat, just going to let him run over to this right side. Where's that motorcycle at? He's hanging out on this munitions. Probably going to see him grab the 16 munitions on the flank there. And flak-verling on the field. Kris with basically no answer to this. Gonna need an AT gun. I mean, there's no way that Mecha's gonna let him in close. So, and iMeqa actually not opting for the light tanks here, just going to vet up his Bursas with the bolstered squads and the Beretta Model 30 machine guns. Is he teching into those just yet? Not yet. Does have the light machine gun on his Panzer Grenadiers. Browning Rifle's doing okay here on a nice little flank there, sprinting in, going to get an AT grenade down. And that means he might be able to follow up with a second one. Doesn't have enough munitions for a third. But the bar rifles can penetrate this flak-verling. And that's a dead flak, I think. It's going to be traded out for some models here. What a nice pickup. That was freaking huge for Kris. He's even going to get this fuel, forcing that full retreat from Mecha. Panzer Pioneers on this left side. I wonder if he's gotten any mines down. Could take a quick look for mines. Not seeing any. There's one there. Okay. So, and I hear more mines going down. Yeah, that was a huge fight for Mecha. Or a huge fight for Kris. I mean, managing to get control of this fuel is absolutely what he needs right now. Probably an AT gun next, I would expect. A little bit of a mistake from Mecha here, adding on these Panzerjägers. He should know just how far ahead he is on fuel. So there's, you know, he doesn't need them. The 250's okay. Nice grenade. That was a nice grenade thrown off the cover right there. So the unit had to either stand in the grenade or walk through it, and that's what we saw there. Flamethrower is making short work of these riflemen in that heavy cover, forcing them back. But, I mean, Kris, he's got control of this fuel. For how long is the question as these bolstered Bursa squads come in. Panzer Pioneers continuing to melt the riflemen. They should win this fight, but I think they're going to walk into a mine soon after. Nice pickup there, and here come the Bursas. These guys on a bad retreat path shouldn't go down here, even with that motorcycle granting that 10% increased received accuracy. Bursas are going to try to get one more model. Not going to happen. Oh, no way. No way. Holy moly. That is a lucky rifleman squad. I thought he was for sure going to be fine. I was looking elsewhere. I'm over here looking at the mini-map, not even paying attention. Rifleman almost going down there. And these riflemen should also consider retreating. He's gonna wait, throw a grenade. Okay, nicely done. I take it all back. Motorcycle grabbing this fuel. Now, Kris has managed to accumulate some fuel here. We could see a Greyhound. I don't know. I mean, Kris has not seen these Panzerjägers yet, so a Greyhound would actually be a mistake. But he doesn't know that, of course. I think an AT gun would be his best bet, even though he doesn't really need it just yet. He needs something that's going to be low APM, right? And again, I'm talking as a fellow, 1100, 1200 elo player. You want something that's low APM, it's going to grant value. So whether that's another rifleman to group up, I think this heavy machine gun is just perfect, right? It's low APM. It's going to give him map control, and an AT gun has the potential to do the same. Ambulance once again loaded up with the double bursts here. Gonna, drive in here as quick as it can. MG34 gonna suppress those riflemen, and is gonna force them back. Grenade here, picking up a couple models there. Shouldn't be able to wipe that squad unless they walk forward. Mecha losing vision, losing concentration there on that unit, almost dropping them. But this looks like a really favorable fight for Kris. Multiple angles here for his riflemen, supported by that heavy machine gun. Bursas using their quick march to get around the fight. Yeah, great use of his mobility here from Mecha. I'd love to see this motorcycle capturing some territory, but again, he's being taxed on his APM, which is the case at this elo. And Panzerjägers, we're just waiting for a target. We do see bazookas up next. And nice here from Kris. Should be able to get this fuel. More riflemen. Gonna hop in this house. I don't think there's any windows on this side. So those riflemen will have this fight here, but these bursts could get in the fight without giving anything back. Looks like Mecha is engaged elsewhere right now. MG34 was trying to help out. We're going to see a breach here from these riflemen. Yes. Breaching that building. Bursts not seeing it. They do see it at the last minute there. Once again, this building does not have windows, so these bursts can hang out. And a grenade on the door there. Oh, that could be a dead rifleman. Yeah. What a nice pickup there once again. I was about to say, this building does have a second exit, but you have to micro it. So if you order a unit to get out of the building without telling them which door to use, they'll use this one. And we saw that grenade on the door absolutely nuke that rifleman as they got out of the building. Bazooka's setting a trap here for what they don't know. Ambulance being used to reinforce on the front line and apparently to scout out where the riflemen are. Does need to be careful with those. It should be a favorable fight for these bursts, but the riflemen looked like they were thinking about an AT grenade, but not going to pop it. And it looks like our players continue to trade fuel on this right side as well as the left. What's the fuel situation? Yeah, 120 ahead here for Mecha. Munitions much closer this game. So we are going to see Panzer Command on the way for Mecha. He did skip all of those light tanks. So I think we're going to see a P3 here. I say that. It's possible we see a... It's possible we see a... Stuka once again. Bazooka's finding this 250. Yeah, and Kris is playing a much more dynamic game this game. I mean, he's sending units to multiple areas of the map. This double heavy machine gun's going to let him control those blobs if he can manage to catch them. Heavy machine guns on this map are tough. I mean, there's some really good places they can set up, but there's also a lot of great flanking spots and great blind spots that that makes them have some counterplay. These heavy machine guns sitting across from each other, they are going to see each other, and US heavy machine gun is going to set up first, and despite being in the open here, does have that reduced incoming, harder to hit, right? Perceived accuracy. So I think we're going to see the U.S. machine gun win this fight. And those bar rifles closing the gap there, almost going to get suppressed. 250 being forced back as well. And more riflemen moving into this right side. So Kris gonna really commit to this right side, let his opponent have that left side. What a great suppression. Managing to reface just in time there. And looks like Kris wants to keep his heavy machine guns together. One to cover the other. Panzer III on the field. Rifleman instantly going to give that up. But a relatively blue map here. So Kris is a long way from tanks. I know he does have enough fuel for his tank depot, but won't have the fuel to actually build any tanks from that. So we should see him add on something like an AT gun next. I mean, honestly, he could build 2. Heavy machine gun. Almost going down to that P3. Sprinting rifleman trying to find an AT grenade. Looks like that heavy machine gun might go down here, but not the end of the world. Bazooka's actually finding an angle. P3 getting greedy with the chase. And just going to lose some damage there. Rifleman sprinting in. Grenade coming down. But not going to prevent the capture there. And I actually like this captain. They're very, very cheap manpower-wise and provide a huge amount of utility. Now, second bazooka on the field for Kris here. That's an interesting choice. But I guess when you have... when you can pick up these bazookas, he's microing everywhere, he's grouping up. I mean, it's good. I like this idea of bazookas. And rifleman hopping out of the house. Grenade on the door. Not going to exit that side. I believe the default door for exiting is this front one, but I'm not 100% sure. Bazooka's continuing to find an angle. Stun grenade. Going to mess these bazookas up. Second bazooka on the field. Grenade coming down. And what a mess. Just fights everywhere here. While all this is happening, Mecha's capturing that right side. Going to deny the munitions. Not that Kris cares, he's floating 400. See, he does not have double bars on any of these riflemen either. I'd love to see that double bar rifle upgrade to give him some increased DPS. MG34 setting up here. But facing off against the Browning. Sprinting out of heavy cover there, I don't know about that. And oh no! Browning's going to reface as well. But fortunately for our US player, Mecha is going to be driven back there. And Motorcycle continuing to capture territory on this right side. Panzerjägers kind of just hanging out here. I love that Mecha is using his excess APM with these vehicles, just grabbing some territory. You know, despite the fact that Kris has a dominant map position, he doesn't actually control the lion's share of the fuel. And it is a Stuka here for Mecha. Love that. I mean, he's up against a whole bunch of heavy machine guns, so why not? Here comes a shot. Looks like it's going to drop right on this heavy machine gun. Not a great connection, unfortunately, for Mecha. Oh my god, all those shells just completely whiffing. Heavy machine gun unfazed. Moving forward here, Panzer III helping out. And Panzer Pioneer is going to have a grenade in the retreat path. Nope. And Panzer III finding a flank on this other heavy machine gun. So really, really well done here. Mecha coming out of the base strong here. And Kris just going to slowly capture up. Advanced logistics on the way. Has Kris picked up... nope. I was going to ask if he had picked up survival training, but doesn't have that either. And both players being forced to their limits here. I mean, this is this is what I love about this elo of play. which is both players are playing at their absolute maximum and making small mistakes that's letting their opponent back into the game, and it's just leading to a fantastic game 3. We're already at the 20-minute mark. I expect this game to go long. I mean, we'll see, right? Both players have a lot of units now, so we're probably going to see some units going down. We're going to see some really big fights. And it's just a matter of who's going to have that better preservation, I think, as we move into this mid-game. Mecha's built himself a nice little lead, right? 160-ish points. So going to be feeling pretty good about that. Scouts still alive, capturing territory in the wings, as they should be. Huge push here by these riflemen. Vet 3, Vet 2. Burst is in behind. Grenade going to whiff. And MG34 actually forced off there. Burst is doing an okay fight. Oh my god, this could be huge. Grenade as well, connecting. Looks like the barrage is on the building. They're going to absolutely nuke. The heavy machine gun Burst is still in the retreat path here, but heavy machine gun should escape. And nothing going down there. Panzer III on the scene as well. Now this guy could pick up something potentially. Bazooka's in danger. Focusing the rifleman though. Is going to get the heavy machine gun and should be able to destroy it as well. Second P3 on the way here for Mecha. And that's a dead Browning. Nicely done. Really, really nicely done. Kris actually taking the stealth on his scouts. You don't see this as often at a high level. A lot of folks take that smoke grenade to be able to escape. But scouts with stealth, they can hide, you know, in an unusual place where units don't typically walk and give a ton of information. I mean, look at the vision range on these guys. It's absolutely massive. Motorcycle's going to find him, though. And didn't actually see it. Motorcycle going for the point here. Those scouts doing decent damage, though. Man, this is the most interesting fight to me. Scout's actually going to prevent that bike from capturing. That's a big deal. Oh my god, huge blob from Kris here. His entire army all in one little area. P3 just trying to slow it down here. MG34 able to basically pick the fight he wants. Breach coming down. Burst is backing out. Rifleman using that sprint ability to just go everywhere all at once. MG34 suppressing all the riflemen there. And the P3 is going to have a field day with these retreating riflemen. Bazooka's getting some decent shots. MG34 going to suppress them as well. Looks like he's moving to the house there. For those of you that don't know, see how these guys increase their movement speed? He clicked them into the house there. They basically get instantly unsuppressed when entering the building. Oh, barrage on the base! Barrage on the base! And just a little early, but he's going to hit some riflemen. Oh, wipe on the Vet 3. Huge. Really nicely done there for Mecha. What a great barrage. Great timing, too. He was only slightly early. Which, I mean, if you're going to be anything, early's good. And those scouts going to have to give up this top side. Kris losing quite a bit of fuel control here. Actually throwing down a depot. I like this idea, right? If you're floating manpower, throw down a depot like that. It's the lowest APM thing you can do. And as long as he doesn't lose it here, he's going to be pretty happy. Those Vet 3 bursts is not going to give up this point easily. Grenade in the advance path of those bazookas. Actually going to get some damage. No models wiped, though. Panzer Pioneers grabbing territory. I suspect we're going to see some mines here. Now, Kris has a decent amount of fuel. He does have enough for a tank and a tank depot if he wants. And I do think he wants, based on that fuel cache that we saw him throw down. Actually, what he really needs is survival training, which he doesn't have yet. Okay, so we're going to see a delay for Pershing. So I think... yeah, and he's got it unlocked. I mean, it's not cheap, though. I think it's $275 if you don't have the tank depot. Now, those riflemen sprinting looked like they wanted to get an AT gun, grenade down, but not going to happen. Triple bazooka's going to be forced back here. Captain already veteran C2 with all the fighting that's been going on. Here come the P3s. And Kris going to once again have to give up this position. Going to try and get a grenade. sprinting away. And there was a mine there that I didn't see. A rifleman managing to escape. And yeah, Mecha in a really, really good position here. Now this map, it is tough to take away your opponent's... it's tough to control all 3 victory points, but I think that Mecha needs to consider it. And he's going to go for this fuel cache, I mean, not instead. He can't capture with that tank. He doesn't have the requisite tech. Does have Pact of Steel. For the discounts. And nice little strafing run. That's this aptly named strafing run ability. Panzer Pioneers holding it down over here. Yeah, and I don't think this game is over yet. If Kris can get to a Pershing, which is obviously his plan, there is a path for him. Now, Mecha has added on a second Stuka here, so this could either be really good for him or really bad. It's high risk, high reward, right? If these Stukas are able to connect, and just gonna overshoot ever so slightly. There is a second Stuka. I believe it's probably off cooldown. We're gonna see him fire here. He is gonna fire. Is he gonna overshoot again? Yes, he is. Oh no, it's perfect. And it's in the retreat path. All 3 bazookas getting absolutely annihilated. Not focusing the retreating bazooka though. So AT grenade's gonna find their mark. And oh my god, Chris's army just absolutely decimated there. So it turns out that the Stuka was a really good choice. Rifleman gonna barely escape there from the looks of it. Wow. Yeah, okay, so I mean the problem though with the double Stuka is that this... Well, I was about to say that this Pershing's right around the corner, but it's not. I think it's 275, I have to check. 250. Okay, I mean, he's 2 minutes away at his current fuel income. If he picks this up, it's 1 minute. So it's possible. It is possible, but look at that very high veterancy army for Mecha. Things are looking really, really good. Buttoning that vehicle with the heavy machine gun, that is not something you see very often.
Ready for deployment, sir.
More bazookas added on here. Kris floating that requisite manpower. I think it's 900, isn't it? Without the upgrade? Yeah, 910. So, looks like he's going to time it perfectly. Well, I say time it. He's been floating for a while. But he is going to get there. Alright, so this Pershing's going to have to wipe, like... It's going to have to wipe the Panzers. Potentially the Stukas as well. To get him back into this game, I think. We'll see. I mean, you know, despite getting barraged there horribly... Oh no! Run, Kris, run! Where's it going? Yeah, it is going down right here. And gonna wipe the vet too. Man, Kris not respecting those Stukas. I mean, you hear sound, you move. You gotta. Pershing's here. Here we go. Can you do it? We'll see. Panzer III is finding a retreating squad there, maybe? Nope. Oh, destroying the heavy machine gun. That's what they were doing. Rifleman hopping out of that house. Here comes the Pershing. Panzer III is not a fight they want. They have tungsten rounds, but not able to penetrate the front armor of the Pershing. Here comes the strafing run. Doesn't look like it's going to connect. And Pershing not able to get anything done there. Just going to drive back those units. Stealth scouts chilling here in the open. Rifleman in a bad spot. Grenade in the retreat path. Not going to connect. Barrage coming down on the Pershing maybe? Yes. Getting a decent connection, but not doing a whole lot of damage. Captain finding this motorcycle. Those tungsten rounds flying out here. Captain going to give it up. So Kris's problem now actually is manpower, right? I mean, we're seeing Mecha tech up to the armored reserves here. I'd be surprised if he saved all the way for a Tiger. He has a lot of manpower. I wonder what he's gonna do. Oh, mine wiping that scout on the retreat there. Kris going to be finding the soft side armor of the Pershing. Looks like he's going to get in behind. Not quite. Is going to dive, though. Bazookas are there. I don't know about this. Both players very risky. And oh, so many freaking bounces. Panzer III going to go down to the bazookas. I can't believe the Pershing lived. Heavy machine gun in the house, not doing anything. And bazookas looking for more damage here, are going to find it. Pershing has to back all the way up. Engineer being added on here for Mecha, or for Kris, I mean. Holy cow, P3 almost going down to those bazookas. Jaeger's stealthing up. No way. Yeah, I was going to say no way they find that. But fuel control is still firmly in Mecha's hands here. Barrage. It's going to be a walking barrage this time. Looks like it's coming down on the headquarters. Probably walking this way. Nope. Just walking across the buildings here. Panzerjägers need to retreat here. Uh-oh. Forgot that that unit was a thing. I don't know if you want to pick that up. It's going to pick it up on the captain. Interesting. All right, how many kills these Stukas have? 14, 8. Pretty good. Pretty good. And it's going to be the double Stug call-in. Interesting. Is he going to dive? I do agree with not the Tiger choice here, and I think anything other than a Tiger would be a good choice for Mecha here. Pershing, if he can get a weapon that penetrates the Pershing's armor, that's what he needs, right? So, Rifleman hopping in this house here. Gonna go for that fuel. I think he just walked along the edge of the map here to get out here. And does have still no survival training for Kris. I mean, honestly, I think the time for survival training has definitely passed, right? When he had that huge infantry army, it would have been extremely valuable. But not at this stage. Rifleman hopping out the back there. Versus gonna hop in. Surprised we're not seeing a rebreach. Just gonna sprint away. Bazooka's trying to find that motorcycle. Duke's hanging out in the middle there. Just their one mission is the Pershing, which is almost fully repaired. Yeah, and Mecha just needs to hang out. I mean, this is fine for him. He still has a huge army. He's pop-capped, right? He has control of 2 of the victory points. He doesn't need to force his luck here. He knows the Pershing's on the field. I mean, mines. I'd love to see mines going down. I mean, we've seen him planting mines all game. I don't currently see any, though. By the way, I love that they added the little signpost on mines. It makes it so much easier to see as an observer. Alright, bazookas, heavy machine gun on the way for Kris. Still floating 250 manpower after building both of those. Captain loaded up on the back of this Pershing. Looks like we're going to see a big push on this right side. May even go for that victory point. And I think here comes a barrage. Is it in a good spot? It might be. Nope, overshooting a little bit. It's that maximum range spread. Not able to connect there. Focusing the Panzer Pioneers. I don't know about this. Here comes a Black Dragon barrage on the Stuks. And with a AT grenade, might actually get a good connection here. Not quite in the splash zone. Oh no, another barrage finding the retreat path of the Pershing. But did see it, all that infantry on the full retreat here for Kris, basically. Pershing gonna pick up the motorcycle. Nice counterpunch by iMeqa there to get some big damage down. Panzer III can't really push into this spot. This Pershing getting huge, huge damage there. I mean, does need to be very careful here, Mecha does. That's not a favorable fight into that Pershing. Bazooka's finding the P3 attack ground. Nope. Stug's hanging out, self-repairing here. Here comes the Pershing. Actually finding the low-health Stug. Not able to finish the job, though, and this is good. I mean, Stug's trading damage against the Pershing is exactly what he wants, right? He wants to just tink away at this Pershing. Doesn't need to kill it, just needs to force it back. And is going to get that done. More bazookas moving up, heavy machine guns as well. Here comes another barrage. This is a walking barrage this time. Tell me it's walking through here. That'd be huge. No, it's not. Just walking across those bazookas there. Yep, Kris having to retreat all the way back. You know, I was talking about infantry survival training being bad. Well, it's good again because his army's huge. He's got so much freaking infantry here. Yeah, but I mean, the last few minutes, despite this Pershing being on the field, Kris has not managed to control the victory points. Here comes another barrage in the advance path. Not quite. Going to be in the retreat path, picking up some damage on that captain. What a great barrage that was. Stugs have been upgraded with their MG34s. Able to just tick away at these riflemen. Here comes another barrage. Covering off the P3. Not able to get it. Now, Kris, you know, I was teasing him earlier for floating 400 munitions, but he's going to be able to get a couple of these Black Dragons. Here it comes, down on the Stugs. Stugs are going to see it, of course. And able to get out of the way there. Heavy machine gun actually going to suppress the bursts. Kris managing to get this victory point. Love to see this Pershing go over to the left side, actually. You know, he knows where all his opponent's tanks are. And if he can get into that left side with even one squad, with the support of the Pershing, could clean up a whole bunch of territory there. Of course, he doesn't know that like we do. Pershing just chilling out front here. Heavy machine guns set up. Here come the Stukas. Probably going to see a barrage here on this heavy machine gun as soon as he knows where it is. Pershing finding some good damage. Stukas paying him back, though. And a strafing run. Uh-oh, engineers repairing in combat. Not a thing you want to do. Heavy machine gun going to go down to the flamethrower barrage combo. Bazooka's trying to help out. Stugs getting real aggressive here. Might even find this Pershing. Oh, one more shot. Didn't go for it. I can't believe he didn't sack that Stug. Sacked the Stug anyway, unfortunately. Barrage. Finding some good damage. Bazooka is trying to clean up this Stug, and I don't know where he's going, but it's not looking good for that Stug. Uh-oh. Tungsten rounds from the P3 trying to help out, but not going to get it done. And what a huge trade-off. Oh, he's trading population cap for this Tiger. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that would have been a huge play if he dove with those Stugs, lost them, and then called the Tiger, but he just sacked him instead. I mean, got there in the end and still has map control, so I can't really fault him. Another heavy machine gun here. Yeah, and this Tiger, it's going to put a quick end to this game. Oh, the burst is even going to get the decap there. Grenade on the rifleman there. Going to do huge damage. Here comes the Tiger. Yeah, and a barrage going to stop this capture from happening, I do believe. Yes. Not if he misses. Looks like it wasn't called down on the point. Oh, rifleman dropping in the front line there. Even going to drop their Brownings. Those bursts now have a bar rifle as well. Oh, P3 going to pick up the Browning, and that's going to be all she wrote. Pershing going to try and get in this action here, but not in the face of a Tiger, they're not. We're seeing the rifleman going to try and get over onto this victory point here, but with Panzer Grenadiers and a heavy machine gun standing in the way. Not to mention the Tiger. Yep. Wow. What a great game 3, man. What a great game 3. 40 minutes. Stall for Pershing. Tiger ending up coming out. Stuka's getting huge value. This was a great game. Game 3. Bazooka's trying to get something done here. P3 also going to get involved. Anti-tank satchel charge there from those bazookas. getting huge damage on the Tiger, but unfortunately for him, double engineer going down to the Tiger, and even if this Tiger goes down here, it is not going to matter. 7 points to go. Yeah, Persian getting aggressive here. Might trade it out. Okay, I mean, if only he had anything more than one rifleman. Wow. Wow. What a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. Big thanks to Ironclad for hosting yet another challenge with the below 1200, or is it below 1300 ELO? I think it's led to some really fun games amongst the community. And check out the main bracket finals tomorrow. Hold up, let me quickly check who is in the bracket. It is going to be Kaiser versus... Actually, I don't think we've got a finalized bracket for tomorrow, so it could be Nub or Reekley going up against Kaiser Tushkan. Hope you guys... see you guys there. Oh, it's going to be Reekley. Thank you to my support person here. I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow.